Hello everyone, welcome back. In this part we are going to learn file management in Linux. File management is one of the most important Linux skills because everything in Linux is treated as a file, which include documents, directories, devices, and even processes. So by the end of this part you will know to navigate the Linux file system, create, copy, move, rename, and delete files and folders, view file contents, understand the file permissions, and use powerful file-related commands confidently. So this part is beginner friendly, so you don't need to worry if you are new to Linux. So let's get started. Before we start running commands, let's understand how files are organized in Linux. So Linux uses a tree-like structure starting from a single root directory called the / that one. Let me go inside my Linux, inside my Parrot OS. So that one I'm talking about, this one, okay, the /. So some here we can take a look at some important directories we have, which include the /, which is the root directory, okay, or the root of the file system. Okay, and we can get that by using the cd command, cd // like that, okay, to go back one directory, okay, like that, okay. And as you can see, we are now inside the home, okay, and the home, it's where user files are stored, okay. And we can do let us use this command ls. I'm going to talk about these commands later, okay. I just want to show you the file system, okay. So as you can see, we have this folder, the directory called the user, okay. And if we run the command, the cd // again to go back one directory, as you can see, we now have this root, okay, which is the root of the file system, okay. Now we are in the root of our file system, okay. And we have another folder, which is the etc, okay, and this one contains the system configuration files, okay. And if we do ls, we use that command, we let us take a look. So we have this folder, okay, etc, okay, this one, okay, it contains the system configuration files, okay. And we have another one, which is the var, this one, okay, the var, okay. So the var contains logs and variable data, okay. And we have another interesting one, which is the bin. Where is the bin? It's right here, the bin, okay. And we have the bin, and we have another one, which is usr, okay, this one, okay, usr, okay. So this usr contains another bin folder, okay. And if we use cd and then we specify usr to go into the usr folder, press enter, we are now inside the usr folder. Then if we type ls to view all the folders inside the usr folder, we are going to see a bin folder, okay. We are going to see a bin folder. So this bin folder inside the usr and the bin outside the usr contains essential programs, okay. So these folders are very essential, okay. So unlike Windows, Linux does not use drive letters like C or D, okay. So everything starts from the /, okay, which is this folder here, okay. So now let's move into the terminal and start managing files, okay. So the first command we will learn is the pwd, which means print working directory, okay. So this command shows you where you are and in the file system, okay. So let us try to take a look at it. So if we use let us open a new terminal. Let us close this one, and then we open a new terminal, okay. Just click there. If you are in Parrot, you can just click this icon here, or you can just press the Windows key, and then type mate, like that, okay, main terminal, and you are going to get this main terminal, okay. You can click on this one, okay, to start this terminal, or you can just type terminal, okay. you can just type terminal and choose or on one of these terminals, okay? But I want to use mate, okay? The mate terminal, okay? And you can click on this one, okay, to open this terminal, okay? So let us take a look at this command called the pw, which is called print working directory. Okay, so when you run this, Linux tells you your current location. Okay, and most of the time you will start in your home directory. Okay, and if we press enter, as you can see, we are inside our home directory. Okay, ourselves, okay, or ourselves, we are inside the home directory. Okay, so let us take a look at listing the files. Okay, so to see what files and folders exist in a directory, we use ls, okay, command. So let us take a look at it. So we use that ls command. So this one lists files and directories in the current folder. Okay, so if we press enter, as you can see, we have all these folders. Okay, so these are all folders, okay, that we have, and if we had some files, they would have been listed here. Okay, so let us add some useful options on our ls command. Okay, so we have this option. If we type ls and we add -l, this shows a long listing, okay, and it includes file permissions, owner, file size, and the date modified. Okay, so if we press enter, as you can see, so here we have the file permissions, as you can see here. So this category is for file permissions, okay, and we have this one, the owner. As you can see here, we have user is the owner, as you can see, the owner, and as you can see here, we have the file size. Okay, we have the file size, and we have the date modified. Okay, here, as you can see, the date modified right here. Okay, so now let's show hidden files. Okay, so they are hidden, there might be hidden files in that folder. Okay, so to view those hidden files, we use ls and then -a, like that. If we press enter, so this is another option. Okay, apart from -l. Okay, so this is another option. So this one is going to enable us to view hidden files. Okay, so as you can see, we are now seeing many files, okay, in our directory that we are in. Okay, so we have this one, we have bash history, we have bap suite, we have cache, we have config, we have all these ones. Okay, all these one dot profile, we have all these ones. Okay, all these ones have been hidden. Okay, so they are hidden files. Okay, so files that start with a dot, like this one, call it, we have these ones, they are very many. Okay, they are very many here, as you can see. So these ones that start with a dot are hidden files. Okay, as you can see here, they are all hidden files. Okay, they are all hidden files. Okay, so let us now take a look at how we can change directories. So to move between directories or folders, we use the cd command. Okay, so we can use cd command, and if we let us use ls to view all the files and directories in this current directory. Okay, so as you can see, we have one folder, we have some folders. We have the desktop, we have documents, we have music, downloads, pictures, public, templates, and videos. Okay, so let us try to go in the documents folder. So we can use cd. Cd means change directory. Okay, so c means change and d means directory. So we want to change directory, and we go into the documents. Okay, so you should note that in Linux commands are case sensitive. Okay, so if we type documents starting with lowercase d, this one is not going to work. Okay, because as you can see here, the name of our folder is called documents with capital D. Okay, not small d. Okay, so we should note that. So let us use capital D. So cd documents, like that. We press enter. As you can see here, we are now inside our documents folder. Okay, so this moves into the documents folder, and to go back one level, we use cd dot dot, like that. Okay, double dot, or we can even add a forward slash, like that, or we can leave it like that. And if we press enter, as you can see, we are now back. Okay, we are now back in our directory where we were. Okay, as you can see. Okay, so to go directly to your home directory, we use cd, and then we use the symbol. This symbol is called that one. Okay, squiggle, or you can call it what, sigma squiggle, like that. Okay, and if we press enter, okay, we are going to go back in our home directory. So let us go into the documents, and then let us run that command cd, then that squiggle, and we press enter. As you can see, we are back. Okay, so even if we go inside, I will show you. Okay, I'll show you this in the next part. Okay, let me not overwhelm you with a lot of content about cd. Okay, so navigation is a core Linux skill, and the practice, and when you practice this, you will become perfect at it. Okay, so let us now take a look at creating files and directories. Okay, so creating directories, we use mkdir. Okay, so to create directory, we use mkdir. So we use mk to make. This one means make. Then we want to make a directory, we use dir. Okay, dir. So we want to make a directory, and then we need to specify the name of our directory. Okay, the name of our folder. So let me call it linux underscore files. Okay, underscore files. Okay, like that. Okay, so if we press enter, our folder is going to be created, and if we use ls to view all our folders, as you can see, we have linux files. Okay, so our folder has been created. Okay, so you can also create a nested directories. Okay, so for instance, you can say make dir. Okay, make directory, and you can use a dash p. Okay, you can use dash p, and you can create projects. Okay, projects. Then inside the projects, we want to create linux. Then inside the linux, we want to create tutorial, like that. Okay, and if we press enter, you are going to see that we are going to create a projects folder. Okay, so if we press dir, okay, we can use dir, or we can use ls. Okay, in linux. So dir works best in windows. Okay, but in linux, in windows, we don't have ls if we are using command prompt. But if we are using PowerShell, you can use the ls command. Okay, but in Linux, we can switch between them. We can use dir, or we can use ls, like that. But ls is the most is the one that most Linux operators usually use. Okay, because it has multiple options that we can use. Okay, so if I press a dir, okay, like that, you are going to see that we are going to have, I told you we are going to have our projects folder. Okay, that we created here. Okay, then inside our projects folder, we have another folder which has been created, called linux, and inside linux we have tutorials. Okay, so let us go into cd linux, like that. No, not linux. We want to first go into our projects. So cd projects, like that. Okay, and inside our projects, if we press dir, okay, as you can see, we have linux there. Okay, our folder there. If we press cd, and let us go inside the linux, then inside the linux we have this folder called tutorial that we created. Okay, so we can go into, so if we press ls or cd or dir, we can see this folder here. Okay, so we can now go into tutorial, like that. Not tutorials, tutorial, like that. And as you can see, we no longer have another folder inside. Okay, so so let us now take a look at how we can create files using touch. Okay, so to create an empty file, we use touch. Okay, so let us go back in our home folder. So we use that command, we use that one, cd, then the squiggle. Okay, and if we press enter, we are back directly. Okay, instead of going one level ahead when we use a cd dot dot. Okay, so let us now take a look at creating files using touch. So to create an empty file, we use touch. Okay, so we can use the touch command, touch like that, and then we can write the name of our file. Okay, so let me create it using and call it file one dot. You need to add the extension of that file you are creating. So I'm creating a text file, and I'm going to name it file1 dot txt. Okay, because it's the extension for files, for text files. Okay, so from there, let me press enter, and when I press enter, and then I type ls. Okay, as you can see, we have our file here. It's called file1.txt. It has been created and it's empty. Okay, so this is very useful when creating scripts or placeholders. Okay, so let us now take a look at copying files and directories. So to copy files, we use the cp command. Okay, so we can use cp like that, and then we want to copy our file, this file. Let us try to copy it into another file. So let us say file1.txt, and let us create another file. It's called let's call it file2.txt like that. Okay, and if we press enter and we type dir, as you can see, we now have two files. Okay, have file 1 and file 2. Okay, so this creates a copy of the file. Okay, so to copy a file into another directory, so which means this file 2 contains what is in file 1. Okay, so file 2 contains what is in file 1. Okay, so to copy a file into another directory, we can add there the path, okay, to that directory. Okay, so we can let us use cp want to copy file1.txt, and we want to put it inside linux underscore no, inside the projects. Okay, so let us put it inside. Let us go inside our project. Let us first go inside cd our projects. Okay, we can go inside our projects. Okay, and we can do all the stuff from there. Okay, so let us go into cd projects. Then inside our projects, we don't have any file. Let us create a file. So let us create using the touch. So touch file1.txt like that. It has been created, it's there. Okay, and right now let us copy this file into another directory, which is linux. Okay, so let us just create a folder called linux underscore files there. Okay, underscore files, or we can just use this one. Okay, whatever you want. Okay, whatever you want to create. Okay, so let us create a directory, or let us just go back because we already have that file. So let us use cd, then that squiggle, we go back, and then if we press dir, as you can see, we have our linux files folder. Okay, so let us try to copy file1.txt into linux underscore files folder. Okay, so we can use cd file1.txt, and let us put it inside the linux underscore files folder like that. Okay, and if we press enter, let us press enter. As you can see here, are too many arguments. Okay, were provided, as you can see here. So let us add / and we press enter. As you can see here, here we are using cd, not cd. We should use cp like that, and we want to copy it into linux file folder. Okay, so if we press enter like that, here we are going to get an error that cannot create regular file. Linux not a directory. Okay, so as you can see, so here we are missing a file name. Okay, so let us specify a file name. So inside the linux file, we want to copy it and we name it file2.txt like that. If we press enter, as you can see here, cannot create a regular file, this one, no such file or directory. Okay, So this one becomes impossible. Okay, so let us try to copy it. Let us do it again. So we are going to use file 1.txt. So we are copying file 1.txt. Is it there? Yes, it is there. File 1.txt into Linux, not Linux files, not Linux file, it's files, like that. So let us just remove this name, press enter. So our file has been copied from this current directory that we are in into Linux files folder. Okay, so if we press DR, okay, and we go inside cd linux underscore files folder, and we press DR, like that, as you can see, we have our file there, file 1.txt. It's right there. Okay, so to copy directories, we use the dash r option. Okay, so let us go back, cd, we go back one step. Okay, so let us try to copy directory. Okay, so let us try to copy this directory into another directory. Okay, so let us make a directory. So mkdir, let us call it backup underscore files, like that. Okay, so we have created our folder there. It's called backup. Where is it? Yeah, backup underscore files. Okay, so let us copy this. This folder here. Okay, let us copy this folder here into this backup files folder. Okay, so we are going to use cp dash r then linux underscore files. Okay, underscore files, then you want to put it inside, want to copy it into a backup files. Okay, so specify backup underscore files, like that, and we press enter. And when we press enter, and then we go into, we press DR, okay, to confirm. So here let us go inside our backup files folder. Okay, so we can just copy this one, just highlight it, and then right click. You can just copy it. Okay, you can just copy it. You can just press this one. Okay, so just highlight backup files, and then right click. Okay, and then press copy, and then you can come down here, and then you right click again, and then you paste. Okay, and from there you can now go cd backup files. We are inside. Then if we press DR, as you can see, we have Linux files. Okay, so we have copied our folder there. Okay, with its file. So if we press cd linux underscore files there, and then we press DR, as you can see, we have our file there. Okay, have our file there. Okay, so the dash r means recursive. Okay, so you should know that. So this r means recursive. Okay, so let us now take a look at moving and renaming files. Okay, using the mv command. Okay, so the mv command is used to move or rename files. Okay, so let us go back, cd, then squiggle, to go back in our home directory, and let us use mv file1.txt, and we want to move it into notes.txt, like that. If we press enter and we press dr, you are going to see that we no longer have file 1. We no longer have file 1.txt. We now have notes.txt. Okay, so the contents of file 1.txt have been moved into notes.txt. Okay, and file 1.txt has been deleted. Okay, so, or you can assume that we have renamed. Okay, we have renamed our file 1.txt, okay, to notes.txt. Okay, so let us now take a look at moving a file. Okay, so to move a file, we use the mv. Let us move mv and notes.txt. Want to move it into linux underscore files, like that. If we press enter, and then we go into cd linux, want to change the directory into linux underscore files, and we press dr, type dr, As you can see, we have our notes.txt file, okay, there. So this is similar to cut and paste, okay. So if we go back cd, okay, like that, and we press dr, as you can see, we no longer have our notes.txt file, okay, we no longer have it there. So let us now take a look at deleting files and directories using rm. Okay, so to delete files we use the rm command. Okay, so you should be careful, Linux does not have a recycle bin by default. So we can delete using a rm. Then we want to delete notes. Okay, we want to remove our file notes. No, let us see, we don't have that file there. So if we press dr, we don't have our notes.txt in this current folder. Okay, so let us go into the linux underscore files, like that, and we press dr, we have it there. So let us try to remove it. So we can use rm. Okay, can use rm, and we want to delete notes.txt, like that. If we press enter and then dr to confirm, as you can see, we no longer have our file there. Okay, so to delete directories, we use -r. Okay, we use -r. So let us try to remove this linux files directory. Okay, so let us go back, okay, one step, and then we try to use rm, then -r. Okay, that option. Okay, so after typing rm we use -r. Okay, -r. So we want to remove linux underscore files. Okay, linux underscore files. Okay, so I told you r means recursive, but here we are removing. Okay, so we are removing recursively linux files folder. Okay, so if we press enter and then dr to confirm, as you can see, we no longer have that linux files folder. We no longer have it. Okay, so here, if you want to be prompted before deleting, you can use -i option. Okay, so we can use rm. So let us try to make that directory again. So mkdir linux underscore files, like that, to confirm. Let's confirm. So it's right there. So if you want to be prompted before deleting, you can use -i option. Okay, so let us remove rm, and we want to remove -i. -i, let us remove file linux underscore files, like that, if we press enter, cannot remove linux file. So no, so this one is a directory, not a file. Okay, it's a directory, not a file. So let us try to delete it, like that, and then let us add -i, press enter. As you can see here, we are being prompted if we want to delete. Okay, so here we need to confirm. So as you can see, rm remove directory. Do we want to remove this directory? We can say that yes, y for yes, and n for no. Okay, so let us use y. We press enter, it has been deleted. Okay, so if we want to confirm with dr, as you can see, so we can also use rm. We can use rm-i with files. So let us delete file2.txt. Okay, txt, like that. If we press enter, as you can see, remove a regular empty file. Do we want to remove it? It's right here, file.txt. We can press no if we don't want, and if we press enter and let us confirm, as you can see, it's still there. Okay, so let us run the command again, and let us type y. Let us try yes. Okay, let us try yes instead of y. I will press enter. Wow, let us confirm. Wow, it has been deleted. So we can use y or we can use yes. Okay, like that. Okay, so you should always double check before deleting files. Okay, so let us now take a look at viewing file contents. Okay, so to display the contents of a file, we use cat. Okay, so for instance, if we use cat, then do we have our file? So let us create a file here. So let us use create a file. So to create a file, let us use touch. It's going to be an empty file, touch file1.txt, like that. Okay, so we have our file there, so let us press dir. So we have our file there, so let us use cut. We want to cut file1.txt like that. If we press enter, nothing is there. Okay, that's why we are getting nothing. Okay, so for larger files, less is better. Okay, so you can use less. So let us try to write something in our file.txt. Okay, so we have what we call a terminal, an editor. Okay, which we can use a text editor that we can use, or a code editor. Call it a text editor that we can use inside our terminal, and it's called nano. Okay, nano. So if you type nano, then file1.txt, and you press enter, wow, we are going to get this editor. We are going to go inside this editor called the GNU nano. Okay, text editor. So we can write something. Let us write hello. Press enter. The file one, like that. Press enter. Hello. Again, write something, whatever you want to write, like that. And if you want to save, you can press Ctrl S to save. As you can see, I wrote 6 lines. Ctrl S to save. And if you want to exit, you can just press let us press Ctrl X, like that, to exit. Okay, so now if we use cut file1.txt and we press enter, as you can see, we are now able to view all the contents in our file. Okay, so as you can see, we can also let us try to use the less command. So the less command is best if you are working with larger files. Okay, so let us use less, and let us specify, let us call so file1.txt, like that. We press enter. As you can see, we get this one. Okay, but this file is small. Okay, it contains a small content. Okay, so we can just if it was large, okay, it would have showed only few lines. Okay, lines of text. Okay, and we could just press enter. Okay, to continue. Okay, so here we have reached the end. Okay, we have reached the end because our file is small. Okay, so to exit, you can press let us try to press Ctrl X. Is it possible? No, it is not possible. So let us try to use Q, as you can see. So we can if you want to exit that one, we can use Q. Okay, Q to exit. Okay, just press Q. Okay, so if we go back and we press Q, as you can see, we have exited. Okay, so we should use the arrow keys to scroll. Okay, so let us go back. So here we can use the arrow keys. As you can see, we are able to scroll. As you can see. Okay, so use the arrow keys to scroll and Q to exit. Okay, to quit or to exit. Okay, so let us use Q, like that. So let us now take a look at head and tail. So to view the first or the last lines of a file, we use head and tail. Okay, so let us use head command, and then we say file1.txt. If we press enter, as you can see here, we are viewing the first lines. Okay, the first line. Okay, here. Okay, so here, as you can see, we are able to view the first lines. Okay, and if you want to view the last lines, we can use tail command, like that. Okay, and we are able to view the last lines. Okay, so this file is small. Okay, it contains small content. That's why we are seeing these ones. Okay, all these lines. Okay, that we wrote. Okay, yeah, but if it was large, you can try with a large file. Okay, so try to write multiple lines. Okay, try to write multiple lines. You will see what I'm talking about. Okay, so let us now take a look at file permissions. Okay, so in Linux, every file has permissions. Okay, and we have the first one, which is the read. Let me try to use nano test.txt. Okay, so inside, let me explain using the nano. So we have the read. So for the read permission, we use the R sign, okay? And for the write permission, we use W, okay? And for the execute permission, we use X, like that, okay? And we have three categories, okay, of owners, okay? We have the owner, we have the first category is the owner, okay? And we have the next one is the group, okay? And the next one is others, okay? Like that, okay? So you can see permissions using ls dash L, okay? Dash L. So let us go back. So just press Ctrl X, okay? So let us use yes or no, not to save, because we don't want to save this file. So if we press DR, we don't have that file, okay? Because I didn't want to save it, okay? So let us press ls, let us use ls, then dash L, like that, okay? So as you can see here, we are getting some, as you can see here, we are getting these permissions, okay? So here we are seeing these permissions right here. So these are the permissions, not these ones here, okay, are the permissions, okay, are the permissions. As you can see, these are the permissions, okay? These are permissions, and we have R for read, W for write, X for execute, okay? As you can see right there, okay? So to change permissions, we use chmod, okay, which is a change mode, okay? You can call it change mode, like that, okay? So let us try to create dr. Let us try to make, let us use touch to create an empty file. Let us name it script.sh, like that. And if we press ls dash L, like that, so we have our script.sh. And as you can see, it's not a directory, okay? It's not a directory. So where you see D, it means that one is a directory, okay? And where it is not, it means that that one is a file, okay? So as you can see, so this one is a file, okay? It's a file. We have the read permission. This user has the read permission, the write permission, and even there is no execute permission, okay? So let us try to use this command, change mode, let us change, let us use 755, like that. I'm going to explain. Then let us specify script.sh, like that. And if we press enter, and then we use ls dash L, like that again, you are going to see that we now have the execute permission being added, okay? As you can see, we now have the execute permission. It's right there. As you can see, it wasn't there before. As you can see, it wasn't there, okay? It wasn't there, but right now we have the execute permission, okay? We have it. And you can do this using also letters, okay? So here we have used number codes, okay? We can use letters, okay? So for example, we can use change mode. Let us go back. So to go back, we just remove, we use minus, okay? So we want to remove or to subtract the execute permission, okay? So let us operate to remove the execute permission. So let us specify script.sh, okay? And if we press enter, and then we use ls-l, as you can see, we no longer have the execute permission or the execute operation on this file, okay? Even the color has changed, okay? From green, from is it amber, is it yellow, from yellowish amber like to green, okay? It has changed, okay? So to add it there, instead of using numbers, we can just use change mode. Then we want to add the execute permission X, okay, like that. And then we can use script, okay, .sh, we specify like that. And if we press ls then dash L, as you can see, we now have the execute permission, okay, the execute operation on this file. Even the color has changed, okay? So for the owner has these permissions. Okay, the owner has the read and the read, write, and the execute permission. Okay, so let us go back into our nano so that I can explain this one while visualizing what I'm talking about. Okay, so inside, let us say, so the owner has this permission. Okay, the read, the write, and the execute. Okay, and the group has this permission. It has the read and the execute, the read and even the execute, but no writing permission. Okay, and when it comes to others, so others have these permissions. Okay, the read and even the execute, but no writing. Okay, no writing permission. Okay, so let's quickly recap what we learned in this part. So we have covered Linux file system structure, navigating directories, creating files and folders, copying, moving, and deleting files, viewing file contents, and understanding file permissions. Okay, so file management is a daily skill for every Linux user. So practice these commands often. And if you found this part helpful, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with others learning Linux. Okay, so thank you very much. Don't try to cram these commands. Okay, you might try to cram them, but you should not cram them. Okay, you should just practice them. Okay, you will get to know, you will get to understand all of them. Okay, to get to know all of them in your head by time. Okay, so don't try to cram all of these commands. Okay, yeah, don't try. Okay, so you will understand, you will try as long as you understand the flow. Okay, how to write them. Okay, the syntax of writing them. Okay, that's when you will start seeing everything in a Linux way. Okay, so thank you very much. Thank you.